Rob, the second of the in-house games are completed now. You're 1 week or so away from the restart. How are you? How's the team looking?
I'm very well, thank you, Mark. To be fair, I've just said to the lads now, that's it now, pre-season's officially over. We've done pretty much all the prep we feel we can do, and all the prep we probably should do. We feel well set. We look like a very competent group of players who are ready to go. I think the only step we have left is a proper full-on game, and if we're ready to go, we're ready to go. And as I say, the proof of the pudding will be on how we perform next Saturday.
You say about full-on, but those 2 games over the last 2 weeks have been pretty full-on, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I mean, today in particular, when all of a sudden the guys are getting 80 minutes under their belts, compared to when you think how many months ago it is now they last played, and to see how they've come through is very pleasing. Obviously now what's going to be very important is how they recover over the weekend, how we turn up for training on Monday, and how we kind of get ourselves zoned back into what will be something slightly different, because obviously after Monday, Tuesday, when the team is selected and finalised, everybody shifts into preparing that group of 23, and that's a little bit of shift from something we've been used to now for a number of months. And so making sure we deal with that correctly on Monday and Tuesday will be important. And then obviously, like I say, make sure our focus on ourselves is tight enough to get things right is going to be very important. But it feels like we're where we need to be. And
during lockdown, obviously, squads have changed. You've had to integrate new players, but it seems that they're fitting very well.
Well, the good thing at the time is that you've had time with them. Every club will have had a certain amount of time from July the 1st that you probably wouldn't really get this real concentrated period of working with your players. And so it is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting which clubs, as you say, and which squads have integrated quickest together. That's going to be our big challenge against Leicester. Is we've got to focus on ourselves, because we don't really know what's coming from Leicester. A new coaching team, a number of new players. So we've got to make sure we zone into what we can produce and what we can do. Because actually, what the last thing you want to do is be surprised because you think you're going to be coming against Leicester that we've played the last 2 or 3 years, because that's patently not going to be the case. And that's why how we zone in, how we turn up on Monday is going to be massively important. But I have every confidence we'll turn up in great shape.
Lockdown's worked quite nicely. It's allowed you to get pretty much your whole squad back fully fit now, and you'll have plenty of food for thought with selection in terms of the next few days.
I mean, the best thing that this group of players has done is made selection tough. That's the single best thing you can ask them to do. And you need to have tough selection decisions, because within a month they'll all have played anyway in a Premiership game. So it's an interesting position to be, and I think for the lads, I think it's been quite an interesting experience. A lot of the players we've had here have never played an in-house game. They've never done it before, because it used to be something that was relatively common as one of your pre-season games or one of your builds into pre-season games. We haven't done one for years and years and years, and I think that's been a unique experience for them, but one they've dealt with very well. And you've always got to say that every new experience you get as a rugby player should improve you, and I'd like to think that this experience has improved us a little bit, and if it's improved us from where we are, then that's good for us, because we were doing okay before anyway. Obviously we've had a chance to get guys like Johnny Gray up and running, and he looks relatively comfortable in all the systems we're running, which is fantastic. Always same with Sam Heidigo-Klein, great. And then you look at some of the young lads. I think Aaron Hinckley's done really well. Josh Hodge has done really well. We haven't had the chance to see Corey Baldwin as much as we like, with him picking up a slight injury, and obviously Facundo Cordero's only just getting up to speed now. But you look at some of our young academy lads, particularly around the front row, and they've gained invaluable experience. We've got young academy front rows who've theoretically played in a Premiership game now. Yeah. Well, that's fantastic for them, and that will only speed up their development. I think some of those things are probably things that we forget about. That we've actually been able to accelerate the learning of a few people, especially our younger players, with having these in-house games. And as I say, in the future, that's going to hold us in great stead.
And you've also given what it's going to be like post-COVID now, with empty stadiums, but the whole match day feel was the same as normal, the warm-ups, proper refs, everything.
Yes. I think we've done, like I say, we've ticked as many boxes as we can. It was interesting, actually. I was surprised how much atmosphere there was here today, which was just on the field. It is actually a different experience. You hear a lot more, but actually you start to appreciate how much emotional energy the players put into things, because you can actually hear it. You can hear it right from the back of the grandstand, and that to me was a really interesting experience. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that equates when we play against another Premiership side.
And obviously games are going to come thick and fast, as you mentioned. The whole squad is going to be utilised, and that was the importance of probably these 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what's important, is getting enough game time into enough people so that, you know, whatever scenario you end up in, whether you do full rotations, part rotations, that we never end up in a scenario where you've got 5 or 6 guys coming in having not played a game of rugby for 3 or 4 weeks. How we kind of control that game load, or close to game load as we can, without kind of going over the top, that's going to be the balance for everybody. I mean, it's a fantastic opportunity for coaching teams and S&C teams to get things really right. And that's probably going to be the battle amongst all the clubs. The guys who can get that balance right between staying game ready and not overcooking is going to be, you know, it's going to be one of the other interesting factors of this season.
You said early July, Rob. I'm very excited about being back. How excited are you now? Literally a week away from restart.
Oh, I'm excited a lot. I mean, I'm excited because we want to get back to play, and there's a fantastic challenge ahead of us. But I think I'm also excited to see that it does feel like we're moving forward a bit as a country around sport. And you know, what I'm excited about is hopefully that we'll get a Premiership game of rugby on TV this week and maybe next week, and then all of a sudden people start talking about being a couple of weeks away from maybe some smaller crowds, and we can start to feel that we're progressing and moving forward, because we need to move forward as a business as well. You know, it's all very well saying our games are coming, they're going to be on TV, and that's great. Well, rugby clubs need more than games on TV. They need paying supporters through the gate, buying pints of beer and enjoying themselves here. That's what professional sport's about. And I think what's exciting is the games coming, but hopefully what will be even more exciting is seeing our supporters back into Sandy Park as soon as possible.